Hi, I'm Discipline Dave, and I wanted to give you an update of a review that I did on the UnderSun Resistance Bands that I did a while back. Now, I've had these bands for some time. I've worked out in them a lot. I've done a lot of different things with these bands. I've even traveled with these bands. So I just wanted to make sure I give you an updated review because there's some things of my opinions that have changed since the last video. Now, you haven't watched the last video. Here's a little update. These bands are called UnderSun Resistance Bands, and they're by a company, UnderSun Fitness. They sell these bright orange bands, and they come with this accessory as far as this door anchor that comes with it, which is a little bit different than some other bands that you see out there. It comes with a bag there, and then in some cases, depending on what you get, there's a workout program that you can get with it. But these bands are known as the most popular loop bands out there. I bought these bands about 8 months ago from Amazon. I purchased them with my own money. No one gifted it to me. No one is sponsoring the video. These are my honest opinions, and I just wanted to give an update. Now, I've been doing a ton of exercises with these bands. So one of the questions that a lot of people ask me is that, did they stretch out? Do they have the same elastic level as they did when you first bought them? And actually the answer is yes. I didn't notice any stretching of them. They don't seem like weaker, looser, more stretched out. They still seem like they're intact in just the form it was when I first got them, and I've used these a lot. Also, I push these bands to the limit. I did things that require your feet all the way down and your hands all the way up like military presses, and I had no issues with snapping. I also did squats with high resistance on there, and the band's a little bit shorter on like those heavy bands there, and I didn't have any issues with it popping, any type of tearing, cracking, or looking like it was going to pop. So as far as the durability has really held up. Now, as a YouTuber that has a resistance band channel, I've reviewed a lot of bands, and I have to tell you what I love about these bands is something so simple. The color, and I love that the labels on the front give you the resistance levels in heavy, extra heavy, light, medium. I really like that a lot better. One of the things I preach on the channel with my workouts is that the numbers don't matter. All those other companies that are putting like 25-pound resistance band, 30-pound resistance band, all those numbers are meaningless. They're not comparable to the weights in the weight room. Like a 25-pound dumbbell is not the equivalent of 25 pounds of resistance in a resistance band, because the resistance is going to vary based on how much you stretch it, how far you are, depending on the exercise. All that stuff can vary. So I'm not a big believer in those numbers being on the bands, and I think that UnderSun, hold on, I forgot to mute it. Hold on. Well, that's embarrassing. Where were we? Oh yeah. So I believe UnderSun Fitness has that same philosophy. It's more about how the contraction in the muscle is. You want to go off of feel if you really want to build muscle with resistance bands. We have this mentality that we need to have the numbers with the weights, and you stack those plates together to build the muscle with the heaviest resistance. Well, that has to change when it comes to building muscle with resistance bands. So I love that it's very easily labeled. Heavy, extra heavy. Love that. Now, my favorite thing about these bands is their patented design on the door anchor. You won't be able to find a door anchor like this anywhere, and it's the best one that I've ever used before, because you can use it indoors, you can use it outdoors, and I love that it has this little ring on there so you can attach bands for like single arm exercises. There's so much versatility with this door anchor. I continue to use it throughout any type of exercise that I do because it's one of the best I've ever seen, and it's a great quality door anchor there. So a lot of them just come with this cheap little door anchor that you put on the top of the door, but this one you can wrap it around things, because I get some comments that people don't have a door and they still want to do the exercises. Well, these will take care of everything for you when it comes to that there. So that door anchor is something crucial that I love. Now let's talk about the things that changed in my opinion on the last review. Now, I said I did love the bright orange color bands, but like I said, I bought it on Amazon. I didn't know I had this option. That army green look of the bands, I really wish I would have got those instead of the orange ones, because I don't know, it just looks good. I'm a sucker for army green. I'm a sucker for the military in general. Anything camo, that's just who I am. I just thought that if I had to do it all over again, I would have gotten a green one. So make sure, you get what color you like. Now, the major thing that I did not like about the UnderSun band bands in the last video was the bag that it came with. Now, I still don't like the bag that it came with, but they have a solution, and it's a wonderful solution. They have a bag that they sell on the site, and I think that I wouldn't have considered it before, but because I love the band so much and I was getting ready to travel, I went to Amsterdam. For those subscribers out there know that my birthday was recently, and I took these bands to Amsterdam. And I wanted to make sure I had a good quality bag. So I tried their bag out, and let me tell you this. This is the best carrying bag I have ever used when it comes to resistance bands. Actually, now that I think about it, that drawstring type of bag, whether it's resistance bands or not, like this is the best drawstring bag that I've ever used before. It's a really good thick quality. Even the rope that it uses on there is it's very durable and thick. I don't feel like it's gonna tear. It doesn't feel cheap. Like I use this little thin Nike one when I go hiking, but that's completely been replaced by the UnderSun bag. So even if you're not gonna use it all the time for the resistance bands, it's a great bag that you can buy for a really good price. So spend the extra money and get the bag if you're on the fence about ordering UnderSun resistance bands. Like, please just go ahead and get the bag. Now, another thing I really regret from the last video, what I did was I bought the bands off of Amazon. I wouldn't do that now, knowing what I know now, because it's cheaper to go directly to their site. If you take a look at the prices on here, and I pulled them up, the cost on Amazon is $79. That's $79 of the subtotal before tax. Now on UnderSun Fitness website, if you're a first-time buyer of these bands, you get 15% off right off the top. I mean, there's no strings attached. You get 15% off if this is your first time. And that right there reduces your costs to $67.11. And I'm comparing this to the one that I bought, which to me, I feel like it's like the best value because you get all the bands and the door anchor and stuff like that. But they have a lot of different options on there. And speaking of options, I regret not looking at the options on their site, because on Amazon, there's only like a couple options, but I feel like things are explained better on their website. They truly have something for everyone. If you take a look on their site, you'll see that they have recommendations for people. So if you're a beginner, they recommend these set of bands. If you're intermediate, you recommend these type of bands. And then they have the ones with the complete sets. And the complete sets will have the door strap on there. You'll get all the bands that you need on there. I kind of recommend the complete set, but if you just want to dip your toe in, you're a beginner, you're like, I don't know about this, you can go ahead and try out that beginner set. If you like, save some money, see what you feel about it, upgrade later. And one of the most important things I would change in my last video is mentioning the super thanks button. Well, it didn't exist in the last video, but it does now. And if you don't know what super thanks is, it helps you support the creator of the content that you enjoy. So if you really want to thank me for this video, just hit the super thanks button. It's right below. Just hit the heart button and you can thank me for this video right there. They also have different accessories that you can look at. One of the main accessories I'm using right now, whether I'm using UnderSun bands or any other brand or just working out in general, is their gloves. I really love their gloves, and normally I get my gloves off of Amazon. One time I tried some Nike gloves. Those Nike gloves, literally the stitching came loose in like 3 days. And the ones that I get off of Amazon, it usually takes, I don't know, a couple of months before I have to order another one because they start to unravel and stitch. Well, the thing I love about these are they're full finger gloves, because there's sometimes in exercises when I'm using the bands, it gets close to the edge of my fingers, and those ones that come through, it doesn't really protect well. So I really love these gloves because they're full fingered. They're very breathable. They fit on my hands really great, and they have really good grip on here for resistance bands. These gloves are great when you're doing high resistance on these bands, and that way you don't really have it dig into your hands and give you those calluses on your fingers. I've got really bad calluses. Mrs. Dave would tell you about, like, look at these calluses here. You know, that's a man that's been working out. But I'm just here to tell you that the gloves are going to help you with those calluses, and they've already gotten better since I started using them. So Mrs. Dave thanks UnderSun as a company for getting me those gloves, because she's like, I can hold your hand without scratching mine now. Okay, I've been using these in all my exercises since I've ordered them. I think if you are really serious about working out, you definitely want to get these gloves. Now, as an overall recap, I just want to tell you that I truly enjoy these bands. These are my favorite loop bands that I've been using so far this year, but it doesn't mean they can't be dethroned. So with that said, I want you to leave a comment on what other bands you would like for me to review. And then at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, I'm going to have a Resistance Band Awards of 2022. So make sure you put in what bands you would like for me to review, and they may win an award in the 2022 Resistance Band Awards. Oh, by the way, don't click off just yet. I just want to let you know that all the workouts that you saw in the B-roll of the videos today came from my workout series called the No Attachment Resistance Band series, and I'm using nothing but UnderSun resistance bands. So if you're looking for a great workout with resistance bands using the UnderSun bands, go ahead and check out the playlist next.